The TrigJig T660 Dual can be assembled in different configurations depending on the intended use of the square. If the use is predominantly to be as a traditional T-square, you may want to assemble the square using the 4 12mm long bolts supplied. These are mounted from the front of the square and screwed directly into the headstock. Screw these in loosely at first and position a packer underneath the end of the T-square ruler to ensure the T-square sits level during assembly. There is a recess machined into the headstock to prevent movement and ensure the T-square is true. However, it is worth using a square to hold against the headstock and rule simultaneously as you tighten the bolts. The top of the ruler should also sit flush with the edge of the headstock. If you are bolting directly into the headstock, make sure you do not over-tighten. 5.5 Nm is the maximum recommended torque. If you will be regularly swapping the configuration of the ruler and headstock to take advantage of the T660 Dual's design, or you expect the tool to be used in harsher conditions, then it is recommended that you assemble the rule and headstock using the 20mm M6 flange bolts, washer and dome lock nuts to prevent undue wear and tear on the threads of the headstock. Insert the bolts from the underside of the headstock and do not over-tighten more than 5.5 Nm. Add the rule and place a washer and dome nut over each exposed bolt and tighten until secure. Again, it is recommended to use a square to calibrate. There are 2 small screws to be used with the Viperbite. Screw these into place so that only the 1mm is protruding and visible from the underside. This should give enough resistance to lateral pressure on the T-square in most instances. If you find the square moves when pressure is applied to the edge, you can expose more of the tip of the screw or drive the screw fully into the material. Always remove the screws from the Viperbite when not needed to prevent accidental injury.